Alright, in this tutorial we are going to add and subtract polynomials without using the algebra tiles. So just looking at algebraic expressions that are set up using polynomials. Sometimes you're going to be adding binomials or monomials, but the key here is to find your common terms within each polynomial and then combine those common terms together. So in this first example, the first polynomial is 4q squared plus 8q plus 2. The second one is 3q squared plus q. So the first thing we have to do is identify what our terms are. So in the first one we have a q squared, and we have 4 of them. And in our second one we also have a q squared. Those things are like terms. So we're going to be adding those common things together. So 4q squared and a 3q squared, when you add 4 plus 3, you get 7q squared. Now notice that my term stays the same. I started out with q squareds, I end with q squareds. Next common terms that we can combine, we have an 8q and a q. Now a q by itself, if you just count, there are one of those present, so 8q plus 1q will give you 9q. And then finally, you have a plus 2 in the first polynomial, and then you don't have any other thing to combine it with in the last one, so it just stays a 2. Now one thing to be aware of is that you're writing your answers in standard form. And remember, standard form is you start with your highest exponent first, then followed by the next lowest, then the next lowest, in that order. So don't put the 2 first, don't put the 9q first, you have to start with your q squared. Moving on to the next one, 5a squared plus 9a plus 5 minus 2a squared plus 6a plus 4. So since these are being subtracted, you're going to find your common terms, 5a squared minus a 2a squared, and this gives you 3a squared. We have a 9a minus a 6a, that gives us 3a. 5 minus 4 is a positive 1. And again, making sure that it's in standard form. A lot of these problems will be set up for you already in standard form, so you shouldn't have to move some things around. But that's just something to be wary of, is that your highest exponent comes first, then your next lowest, and then this is a 0-degree term right there. But that has to go last.